My name is Washeke Ndwati Omanga, and I'm the founder of Centonomy. Centonomy started in 2008. It started as a result of my own experiences. So I left, I used to work at a bank. I left that job, and of course when you leave and there's no longer a regular salary, you now realize how badly you are using money. So like a lot of people, you thought business will pick up immediately. It doesn't, but it just started to show me the mistakes I had made when I had money. So when I started talking to people, I realized we're all going through the same issues of money. Because of not using money properly, we all find ourselves in situations where we can even no longer afford the way we used to live, and that's what I found about myself. So as I started talking to people, I realized there was a need to teach people about money. And usually when people think about money, they go straight to how do I make money? But even before the how do I make money, it's all the way from what is your relationship with money? How are you spending money? What are your goals? How are you dealing with debt? So in 2009, we just started teaching people, started by one-on-one training with people and just helping them create a financial roadmap. This is where I am. This is where I want to go. Because you find a lot of people, they want to achieve great things, but there's no plan. Yeah, so that was lacking in a lot of the ways. In 2012, this became our course. It has been our flagship program called Centonomy 101. It's a course that over 3,000 people have gone through, and it has transformed people's lives with money. So people come out of there knowing where their money is going, knowing which kind of investments to make, knowing how to retire, knowing how to get out of debt, and basically knowing if I have a vision for my life, yeah, this is what I need to do to actually achieve that vision. After that, the same program, we have a version of that called Campus Edition for university students, and we also run it for teenagers. So we are very passionate about teaching people to create wealth, and we think this journey can start when you're a teenager. It can start when you're in university. If a lot of people knew some of the principles of money in university, it would help them a lot. In 2014, we also realized a lot of people do want to start businesses. One of the ways people want to create wealth is through business. But again, it's the same problem. People have started businesses and they have failed. People are running businesses, but they're feeling they're stuck. People have an idea, but they don't know how to take that idea and make it into a sustainable business venture. So we started the Centonomy Entrepreneurship program. The goals are for people to learn how to run a business, which means, can you build a business that even when you're not there still runs? So make that business sustainable. Understand how to take your idea from just an idea into the market. Understand how money works in a business and how to make money sustainable. Yeah. So between the two programs, the personal finance and entrepreneurship is what Centonomy does. In a nutshell, what we do here is teach people to create wealth. So you can create wealth by managing your money well, using your salary well. You can also create wealth by starting and running a business. At Centonomy, what we do fundamentally, what's the common thing in all our courses is wealth creation. It's about teaching you to create wealth and that wealth sustainably. So for example, we want you to understand how to make 100,000, but also to make 100,000 shillings every month. Or if it's a million shillings every month. So when we tell people think of a vision, it's about thinking beyond now and saying what is going to be the legacy of my life. When I stand back and look at my life, what do I want to have achieved and what do I want to leave behind? So on the personal finance side, it's can I structure my investments so that the day I am not working, I can still sustain my lifestyle, and even when I am gone, I still have left something for my children. If it's running a business, is can I start and grow and scale a business such that if I don't appear for work for 3 months and I go on holiday, the business can still run. And eventually, this can be the type of business that is sold or can be passed on. So it's about for people having a great life. We actually call it living abundantly and figuring out what is your unique place here and how do you use that to create wealth. So it could be through how in your job, it could be through how you deal with your personal money, it could be through how you run a business. And for us, our motto is wealth is what works when you're where you're not working, and that's what we get you to create. So you start by understanding where is your money. A lot of people would ask them now, and maybe the people watching this, if you ask them, where is your money today? They actually have no idea. When you're paid your salary, where exactly does it go? Take the next 1 minute to write it down a lot of people won't be able to. So you can't create wealth, you can't do investments if you already don't know where your money goes. You come out of the house with 1,000 bob, by the end of the day, you have no idea where it is. So we start by making people understand, what are you doing with money at the moment? So creating a spending plan, helping them track their expenses. Also helping them understand, what do you have? What loans do you have? What assets do you have? Then we go into explaining how money works. The same way, if I take a pencil and drop it, it will drop. No matter how much I hope and pray, because of the law of gravity, the pencil will fall. It's the same thing with money. There's a principle around which money works. So we teach them the principles of debt. When you borrow, you think you're borrowing 100,000 shillings, but because of the way interest works, your loan is actually going to be 300,000 shillings. A lot of people are not prepared for the 300,000 shillings because they never knew the loan was 300,000 shillings. And we teach them, if you're saving for a goal in the future, it doesn't cost what it costs today. So you may want to buy a car in 3 years' time. The car today costs 500,000. In 3 years, it won't cost 500,000. Or the plot of land, and that's what is called time value of money. But we also teach them the impact of small amounts. And if I can just use my personal story, I learned about money. My first big lesson with money was on lunch money. I was spending 300 shillings a day on lunch. Yeah, and when I did the calculations, I realized 300 shillings a day is 9,000 shillings a year. 9,000 shillings a year is 108,000 shillings. Sorry, 300 shillings a day is 9,000 shillings a month. 9,000 shillings a month is 108,000 shillings a year. There's a lot you can do with 108,000 shillings. So those are the principles of money. What the small amounts can add up to, how you plan for things in the future, how things like debt works. Then they go through thinking, what do you actually want for your life? A lot of people, we are working, we're going to work, we go to work every day, but we've never sat back to think, this is what I want to achieve. And we call that, that's a big part of our class in transforming people's mindsets, to actually think and say, yes, I want money, but for what? So is it for your children's education? Is it for you to achieve something? Is it for you along the way to be able to travel every year? So just have a personal vision. So we take them through creating a personal vision and then a plan for that vision. Once we've done that, we can then go into the different types of investments. People get investments wrong because they're thinking, I'll go to the stock market and invest. That's okay, but it should be go to the stock market and invest because that is what is going to enable me to buy a piece of land in 3 years, etc. So that there's a strategy. So we teach them how things like treasury bills work, how the stock market works, how unit trusts work, how property works, so we can stop this speculation. And then at the end of how investment groups work, and at the end of the class, we teach them how to protect their money. So you can do things legally, put them in companies or trusts, and the use of insurance. And of course, how to implement all that. So what they experience in the course is, first of all, they have other people they're with. They realize you're not alone. And that's what I realized with money. We don't talk about it, but you're really not alone with money. And then they get expert facilitators so the person teaching them shares is an expert in shares. The person of property is an expert in property. And I think because of the process we follow, the one I've taken you from understanding principles to creating a plan to actually creating wealth, understanding how to create more income to the protection, because of the process, their lives actually get transformed. I think the fundamental mistake people are making, by not having their own plan and their own vision or connecting to what they truly want, they tend to look to society to give them the indication of what they should have. So if you look at what society has told us wealth is, it's the fancy life. The big car, the big house, the nice clothes, and etc. And those things are not bad to have, but we've got to understand, if you're driving a big car, the day you don't have your job, that means you can't drive that big car. So understand the big car makes you look good, but it was never wealth in the first place. Wealth is the chickens you may have that you're selling eggs that give you the income to keep driving that big car. So the chickens are wealth. The property you have that's bringing in rent is wealth. The shares are wealth. So wealth is what works when you're not working. So I think on the basic level, that's what we get wrong. So when you step away from the noise of what society has told us they should have, you start understanding, because of trying to live up to an expectation of what you should be doing and what success is, a lot of people are living lifestyles they cannot afford. They're going out and spending the kind of money during the weekends because their friends have told them we have to meet at this and this bar and drink this kind of drink, and they really cannot afford it. Some people are taking their kids to certain schools that they cannot afford. They're paying rent in houses that they cannot afford. They're driving cars they cannot afford, yeah? So your income is smaller than your expenses. That's always going to put you into problems. Because of that, they get into debt. And then they're in a cycle of debt. Some debt is not bad. I don't think all debt is bad. The kind of debt that enables you to invest and make more money is not bad debt. But the kind of debt where you've taken a loan to buy fuel for your car is debt, is bad debt. It means you can't afford the car in the first place, yeah? So they get into that cycle. So that's a big mistake people are making. The other mistake, I think, is running for investments they don't understand. There's a lot of hype about investments that give you quick money. And when in that life, because you want to buy the car quickly, you want the kind of things that someone is selling that promise quick returns. So we don't understand investing is a process and it takes time, and we don't even start the saving habit to enable us to invest. And I think at the end of the day, not having a plan and not having goals. Yeah, we're just living, we're just surviving for today, so we don't have any plans for ourselves. There's no investment that is just about quick money. Yeah, when an investment is promising you money overnight, please look twice, yeah? But this is how you look at investments. What do you want the investment to do? If you're looking for areas to grow money, yeah, you're gonna look at the kind of investments that move your 5 bob to 10 bob. That is what is called growth. Shares grow money, but to invest in shares, you have to understand the company that you are investing in or work with professionals who understand it. Property also grows your money, but you have to understand. Investing in a business or running a business also grows your money, but again, you have to see it as all these things I'm talking about, you have to see it as a long term. The more you want to grow your money, the longer you have to be prepared to wait for it to grow. People get into business because they want to make money quickly. That is the biggest lie that exists. In a business, you will not make money quickly. If you want, the people who get in and expect money in 6 months, a year, even 2 years, they get disappointed because the realities of business is you're not going to make money that quickly. The second thing I think why businesses fail is because the idea was good to the founder. You've started a business that is based on your own idea, but you are not the customer of your business. So I start selling bananas because I like bananas, and I think it's a fantastic idea because I like bananas. But then you realize where you live or your neighborhood, people there actually don't like bananas. They like potatoes. You never did the research to find out, am I the only one who likes bananas? Or what do people rate? So there are people are responding to their own ideas instead of what the market actually needs. So I think businesses should look at a problem. This is how you start. It's not just I have a fantastic idea. What is a problem and are you solving it? Have you noticed there's lack of supply of bananas? And that's a problem that you can solve. Another reason businesses fail is because some businesses they have a good product, but the founder is the only person who can run the business. So it can even start out well and run for a while, but then there's fatigue after some point. So businesses don't have structures or processes that enable the business to grow because the founder is, for example, if you're a car salesman and your business is selling cars, and this was one of our students actually in the classes, he's the only one who could do the sales of the car. So when he was not there, the cars could not be sold. That is a business that is not going to last very long. So he has to turn that business into something that even when he's not there, cars are being sold. And that requires you understand what kind of people to hire and what kind of systems to also put in place. Do I have too many reasons why businesses fail? I'm going to another one, yeah? Money. Firstly, being too excited when you make a bit of money. So maybe you've been running this business and one day you make half a million shillings and you go off and you go on holiday with it. You got too excited when money came in and the business actually collapses. Not understanding how to manage money in a business, how to manage your expenses in a business, the same principles we're talking about, but in a business understanding, I may look like I'm making money, but is cash actually coming in? Issues with taxes. So you run a business for 10 years. It's okay, KRA never caught up to you, but one day as you grow, they find you, especially these days with iTax, yeah? And you didn't pay your taxes properly. And then, of course, is raising capital. A lot of businesses need money, but people get into the mistake of going for the wrong types of money. So we teach them which avenues they can actually use to raise money, not just banks, but other non-traditional ways of raising money, angel investors, and other instruments that are now available for them in the market. So the businesses that come for this class are those that they've started. So you may have an idea, but you've run for about 3 months with it, or you've already been running a business even for a couple of years, but you're here to understand how do you scale up your business and how do you set those kinds of processes that enable the business even to run without you or you to grow in other areas. Apart from the mindset and structures, the practical things that people walk away from the entrepreneurship class is first of all, a plan. Businesses also fail because they don't have a plan for the business, and people think a business plan is this 30-page document that we're going to put on the shelf. So the plan is about looking at what you have, the resources you have, and making sure those resources are used in the correct way. The resources in a business are people, the resources are time, the resources are money. Yeah. We also get people to think about their product from the eyes of the customer. Yeah, so one of the things we do in marketing is start telling people, remove your ideas of the product and the product you currently have, go to the eyes of the customer, and now think about where could this product actually grow. So they learn what avenues, after they've done that, what avenues do they have to actually market the product. And it's very simple. Sometimes our marketing resources are right in front of us. It's things like using the information from your customers or using the feedback from your customers to continue improving your product or finding different areas, ways of reaching that product. We teach them how to use, in this day and age, digital media is a large part of that. So we teach them how to actually use social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all the digital media resources. When we go to money, the first class is we teach them how do you price your product. A lot of people don't know how to price. What cost should I put to it? What are my expenses? So we teach them how to do that. They know what revenue is, they know what cash flow is, they know what profit is. They also start understanding what taxes are due and when to pay them so that they're compliant. And at the end, we look at the legal issues about business. How do you protect your intellectual property? How do you trademark? How do you do supplier contracts, employer contracts? So it's a whole business package.